Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Think Sakshi, where every clue begins with learning. I, Apoorva Narad, will be teaching you different aspects of toxicology in this particular series. So let's move forward without wasting any more time. What is toxicology and how was it derived? So, toxicology is basically taken from a Greek word which is a combination of two different words, which is toxicon, meaning poison, and logos, meaning study. So, the study of poison is known as toxicology. Now, Paracelsus was known as the father of toxicology because of the principle that he gave, which is dose makes the poison. Now, why does he say that? Because not everything is poison, but again, everything is poison depending on the dose it is taken in. Before moving forward, it's very important that we understand certain terminologies of toxicology. So, toxin is basically any substance that is produced naturally and it is of a natural origin. Toxic is the term that relates to a poison or a deadly effect on the body, meaning that effect which any substance shows on the person that it has been administered to or the person who has been exposed to. So, whatever effects that are going to happen on the body of that particular person is known as toxic effects. Now, what is a toxicant? A toxicant is any chemical that can injure or kill any living entity. It can be a human, it can be animal, it can be plants, and hence it can also be known as a poison. Coming to what is toxicity? Toxicity is the degree of toxic effect caused. All right, in short and very simple words, toxicity is the degree of the toxic effects that are being produced or that are being caused in the body of any living organism. So the toxicity may depend upon various factors. It can depend upon the dose, the duration, the route of exposure, shape and structure of the chemical, and different individual human factors, be it age, gender, health conditions, pregnancy status. All of those also cause a various significant effect on the degree of toxicity caused. Okay, so what is toxicology? The science of poison, in very simple words, is known as toxicology, right? So, in the study that we are going to search or understand about how natural and man-made poisons are going to cause undesirable effect on any living organism, its mechanism, its route of exposure, its degree of toxicity, all that comes under toxicology. So basically, two aspects we are going to study, which is toxicokinetics and toxicodynamics. So toxicokinetics is what the body does to the drug, which is absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion. And then comes kind at the dynamics, which is what the drug does to the body. What are the other changes that the drug will bring about in the body, which is sedation, or it can be excitation, it can be hallucinations, anything. And how many types of toxicology are there? So we have a lot of types of toxicology depending on what kind of effects they are going to produce. For example, we have occupational toxicology, we have systemic toxicology, then we have reproductive toxicology. There are various aspects of toxicology that can be studied. For example, food toxicology, aquatic toxicology, environmental toxicology, right? So different aspects and different areas of study are grouped under toxicology. Okay, so moving forward. Now, what is exposure? Because until and unless someone is exposed to any poison, there is no existence of toxicology, right? So, exposure is basically the coming in contact with any chemical or any toxicant that is harmful to your body. So, when we understand the chemical involved in it, what is the frequency of its interaction, what is the degree of its interaction, right? What is the level of interaction of the particular compound with the living organism is known as exposure. Okay, for example, there is a very common term which is median lethal dose, LD50, which means that dose of the poison which is capable of killing at least 50% of the population. And if I talk about the LD50 of ethanol, it is 7,000 mg per kg, meaning that 7,000 mg per kg of ethanol is able to kill at least half of the population of rat in the experiment. Okay, so that is what exposure means. Okay, so what are the different routes of exposure now? So there are four very common routes of exposure, which is skin and mucous membrane. Generally, it's the most common one because it's not in your control. The chemicals or the toxicants that are present in the environment can come and contact your skin and mucus without your permission. So the chemicals or the toxicants that are generally exposed through this route of exposure are aniline, hydrogen cyanide, organophosphate, and many more. Thereafter comes lung, where you inhale certain chemical or intoxicant and it um, interacts with the respiratory organs in your body, including your esophagus, pharynx, larynx, your bronchi, bronchioles, your alveoli. Now, the chemicals or the compounds that are generally exposed by this route are dust, microorganism, asbestos, silica. All these can be inhaled and interacted to the lung and respiratory organs. Then is ingestion, meaning which you consume by the oral cavity. Those compounds are generally known to be ingested, for example, lead. And then comes the eye. So eyes generally get exposed to any gaseous poisons present in the environment. All right. Okay, so when these compounds get exposed to your body organs or your body systems, they have the capacity to cause certain adverse effects in your body. All right. Now, these adverse effects can be either local or it can be systemic. Now, local means that the adverse effects will only be on the organ or the place where the chemical or the intoxicant has come to contact. And systemic means it can affect the entire system of your body. Now, local effects can be irritants, meaning it can cause irritation on the point of contact, meaning, for example, NaOH. Then you have corrosive effects, meaning it can corrode the entire area in which it has come to contact with, for example, concentrated sulfuric acid. Coming to systemic effects, it can be of various types depending on which system is being affected. For example, we have neurotoxicity when the neurons are affected, carcinogenicity where it can cause cancer in your body, hepatotoxicity meaning it can affect the hepatic system of your entire body. We will go and study all of this in a later stages. Let's move forward. Okay, so now let's quickly go through different chemical interactions that two or more drugs can cause inside our body. So there are three different types of effects that drugs can cause in our body, which is additive, synergistic, and antagonist. Let's understand what do these mean. So additive is basically when two drugs come together to cause a significant effect in the body, which is equal to the sum of interaction of their individual inputs. Okay, meaning 1 plus 1 is 2. Then comes synergistic, where the total outcome is greater than their individual outputs. So, for example, 1 plus 1 should have been 2, but here I am representing it through 4, meaning that the effect is greater than the drugs itself. Antagonist is where the total outcome is lesser than their total input, meaning 1 plus 5 should have been 6, that then it would have been additive effect, right? But now I'm representing it through 2, meaning that the effect is less in the body as it should have been, meaning that the drugs are now working against each other and they're cutting each other's toxicity down. All right, so thank you everyone, that was all for today, and we'll meet in the future sessions to undergo and understand various other concepts of toxicology. Thank you. Till then, have a great day.